Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I thank the opposition, excuse me, proposition, for thinking that, I'm bringing these arguments today. But firstly, I'm going to argue against some of the claims they made, and then I'm going to move on to give my team's arguments. Okay, so they told us that why man is evil because he makes all these medicines every day. Okay, enterprises make these medicines because they want money. They want money because they are selfish and greedy, and they want to invent better medicines and better medicines because they want to market these to all over the world and get more money because they are selfish. The main focus here is not that they want to help people. They want money from them. And actually, when they are doing this by inventing medicines and such, they're like in two ways they are evil, because they exploit perhaps poor and ill people, and they do it because of their own selfish motivations. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. And also, they told us that people, they get better, they evolve. Okay, I'm going to cover this on my own arguments, but I'll just say that why do we evolve? Why do we become better at things? Because of competition. And why do we compete against each other? Of course, because we are selfish. We are evil. Because we want to be better than the other person. Okay, we want money, power, and fame, all of these things, and we do all these great inventions and such, and like we make research and science improves, but mainly it's because of the individual's own ambition and own goals in life, and he wants to perhaps he wants to have his name on the history, and he wants that people will make a statue for him or something like that. But not perhaps, or I'm actually sure that that is not the case, that they want to make the world a better place. Perhaps, yeah. That is also one of the facts that I want to cover. And moreover, about contrasting these facts about teddy bears and tanks, I don't know how good argument that is, because it doesn't defeat the fact that bad things happen every day, and like, okay, good things happen too, okay, but like with all these wars and all this selfishness of people all around us, we all see it every day. Like, we pass by to a homeless person, okay, we might feel some compassion, but okay, really guys, how many of you give money every time you pass a homeless person? Okay, we don't come to only the audience come here. Yeah. So people do have very selfish motivation. Yeah. So I've now covered the proposition's arguments. I'm going to move on to my own arguments. And well, first, before I cover these, I'd like to remind you that we do not think that people should be evil, or like we do not think that the state of facts that are now in the world should be as they are. We are just stating that the things are in the way they are because of nature and because we all do have a darker side. Okay. So, first of all, people do things for themselves. Okay, let's talk about favors. My colleague covered them a little bit, but I'd like to talk more about them. So, if I do a favor to another person, I'd expect a favor in return at some point. Maybe not at the moment, but at least I'll think that, he or she owes me one. Okay, so I think it's very seldom times that we do things to each other out of just that we don't know, and we don't want anything back from them. We always do want something back from them. Yeah. And also about charities, like, okay, we have these charity organizations around the world, and common people give money to them. But common people's motivations may not be that good as they may seem. For example, maybe the persons and people who donate money to these organizations do it because of their own motivations, and like they want to build their own self-image, or they want to like brag about how they donate money to their organizations, to their friends, and they want to be like regarded as good people when they're really not. Come on, we don't know their motivations. We can't tell for sure if they are really good just by seeing that they do some charity work. The motives can be, and they are actually, evil. Yeah. And moreover, when it comes down to it, we only think for ourselves. For example, if a person is hungry and is poor, he does not think 1 second about stealing food for his own hunger. Because at that point, that person's needs exceed all other person's needs. The person who will steal from a shop, perhaps, does not think of that shop owner and how he or she will like damage the shop or something like that, or how it will affect the shop owner. He or she will only think for himself or herself. Yeah. Because all do we care about is ourselves. Nobody else. And actually there's a connection here to primitive instincts of all people. We are all born to survive. Okay, this is the biggest instinct people have. And in order to survive, we are willing to do whatever it takes. We are willing to steal or perhaps kill, maybe even. And actually, it's pretty interesting that a lot of people, or like the majority of people, are actually willing to kill animals in order to survive, although they don't think of it right now when they're in their civilized worlds and their civilized life, when they're living their life here and now in the first world. But if it comes down to it, I'm sure that every person would take a knife and kill an animal, however animal-loving that person might be. So if the circumstances are right, all people are evil and selfish and greedy. Because that's how we are. We all have a darker side. Just like I don't know if you guys have read the book William R. Golding's The Lord of the Flies. When stripped from all laws and rules, society, or like a bunch of people, will go against each other and like violence will rule. Yeah, I think that's a pretty like a fundamental thing that we can all understand. We can all like understand that we have these feelings because it is like that. Yeah. And actually, for my last argument, I'd like to address the fact that evilness actually makes the world go round. Because okay, this is how it works. Okay, so people are selfish, and like they want to be better than the other person, and that leads to competition. And competition leads to evolution, and like evolution of ideas and inventions and such. For example, if you look at the Cold War situation, starting from the 50s and 60s, the US and the Soviet Russia tried to one-up each other all the time, and this led to a series of like inventions on space technology when they tried to get to the moon as soon as possible and such. So like this is one of the factors that launches the progress of mankind. The evilness and the will to be and the need to be better than others. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, man is evil. Thanks.